But this is not the reality of all the citizens. This is Nadia, a 34-year-old woman who lives in the Ensuen neighborhood. Every morning she is forced to cross narrow, steep, and slippery roads to get to work. Although the distances are not great, Nadia takes 1.5 hours to get to work because there are no roads that allow vehicular access. Each road is an adventure, surrounded by cliffs, garbage, insecurity, and fatigue. Nadia is forced to carry her belongings in a garbage bag so she can change and be presentable at work. Not to mention that she must first collect her clothes from a communal clothesline, where her neighbors take turns washing everyone's clothes. It is not an easy life, but Nadia, motivated by necessity, is willing to take the risk. The 9.5 kilometers from Rosales neighborhood, where the city in the distance seems to end and the mountains touch the sky, we can find the Ensuen neighborhood, surrounded by the same mountains, but this time we can see a very different reality, a harsh reality. The Ensuen neighborhood is made up of a community whose forced displacement from their birthplace made them take over this territory, creating a neighborhood that was not included in the city planning. The roads are almost non-existent. Public transport only reaches a point, and its inhabitants must daily walk for more or less 22 minutes to reach the nearby consolidated neighborhoods that connect them with the city through scarce public transport. Although conditions are unfavorable, the inhabitants do not lose hope. Oscar, the president of the neighborhood, is willing to do whatever is necessary to guarantee the well-being of his community.
Bueno, muy buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Oscar Lezama Montenegro. Soy natural de Chaparral, Tolima, víctima del conflicto armado. Estamos en este territorio porque desde el 2009 nosotros nos desplazamos hasta la ciudad capital. Estuvimos aquí en varios sectores y ya en el 2014 pues se dio este asentamiento y llegamos a ocupar este territorio.
The land in this sector was occupied little by little for 10 years, and since then, the high poverty status of its inhabitants has prevented the state, specifically the district, from giving them different treatment than being classified as an invasion neighborhood. And therefore, they lack planned supply networks for basic resources such as water and electricity. Around 2016, the legal processes for the eviction of the neighborhood began, and in October 2019, a judge of the Republic denied the crime of land appropriation in favor of the community, which made them decide to continue fighting to acquire its legalization.
Oscar, dígame, ¿cuál es el origen del barrio?
Bueno, este barrio se origina a partir o en el año 2014, exactamente más o menos agosto del 2014, con los dueños del territorio, de las fincas, que permitieron que la comunidad entrara a posesionarse porque creo que ellos iban a vender este terreno a Caja de Vivienda Popular, a una entidad del Estado. Permitieron que las familias entraran a posesionarse, pero ya como en el 2016-17 ellos empiezan un proceso, no hubo negociación y empiezan un proceso a querernos desalojar del territorio. Entonces, pues hay un poco de audiencias, hay un proceso en un juzgado, pero ya en el 2019, en octubre del 2019, pues gracias a Dios no aplicó el delito de invasión de tierras y aquí estamos luchando.
The poverty contrasts with the charisma and joy of its inhabitants that we observe as we walk the path to reach the small community hall built with funds from the Corpus Christi Church and the community. During our walk, we witness all kinds of visual and auditory perceptions. The dance and music takes over our ears. The conversations of small groups of young people in front of their deteriorated houses gives us a glimpse of the hardness of their lives.
¿Y por qué eligieron un nombre tan esperanzador como el Ensuen?
Bueno, hay que agradecer primero que todo a Dios y al Padre Manolo. Padre Manolo, que es el que estaba en la parroquia de Alpes, porque en este momento no está, él nos dio mucho apoyo y él compró un predio acá para la capilla del barrio y él colocó el barrio en Sueños y así ha quedado.
The visual reality of their homes is moving and shocking. All the homes are at high risk of collapsing, and many of them are located at the edge of a cliff. 68% are made of zinc tiles, 25% of wood, and 7% of blocks. The floor of these homes is mostly made of dirt, which turns into mud if the inclement rain runs inside. A father from the Ensuen neighborhood who can work 22 days a month will have an income of $820,000 to meet the needs of his family group of at least 3 people on average. This figure is 1.36% of a salary of a Rosales owner. One of the main problems of this neighborhood is the houses. As you can see, they are made from cheap materials like metal tiles, so the people is vulnerable to cold and diseases. Another one of the problems is the main streets. They are very steep, so vehicles are not accessible, and they can have access to food, water, or clothes.
¿Cuáles son sus principales dificultades?
Bueno, una de las principales dificultades es el acceso al barrio, las vías. Las vías cuando llueve se ponen muy difíciles, entonces inclusive estamos luchando por eso, a ver cómo las podemos arreglar, pero hasta el momento nos toca la misma comunidad porque no tenemos ayuda del Estado.
Despite all this discouraging panorama, the inhabitants of this sector received us with infinite kindness, giving us all kinds of attention, from tasting homemade pastries to delicious roast meat. These Colombians share with us the little they have. Their children and young people still have dreams that have no limits. Dreams about professions that give them a better future and take them out of this harsh poverty. In a country like ours, in which the state turns a deaf ear to the imminent fate of communities like this.
Mi sueño es ser veterinaria para pues, ayudar a los animalitos en situación de calle, los que están maltratados y así.